we have the Sennheiser MKH416. This is about $1,000 microphone, XLR cable. If you're going to have a shotgun microphone, then you're gonna need to have a boom pole. We could hire somebody to hold the microphone for us, or we could put the microphone on a C-stand. So these C-stands are great for rigging up equipment, lighting equipment, and we do have some lighting equipment in the studio, like this big one here. So the Aperture 300D, these are actually great. They are LED lights, so they don't get super hot, but we really won't be using studio lighting because I have a 5x1 diffusion. There we go. So we have a silver side, black side, a gold side, we have a white side, and this is wonderful, just a simple diffusion. If you're outside filming, you put this in between your subject and the sun, then you're gonna get wonderful lighting on the subject if it's like a sunny day outside. All right, I'll meet you outside to show off the rest of the gear.
10 seconds later.
All right, we're outside now, and I set this whole thing up so that we could build out the kit. First things first, I'm shooting this now on the Canon R5, and I have a neutral density filter attached to enable me to play with the depth of field and have a little bit more range with the aperture while filming this whole series. I have the Canon R5 on a Manfrotto tripod. Our next thing I want to bring out is my Lavalier microphone. These work on radio frequency, and they transmit from the little microphone, lapel microphone. This little guy here plugs into the transmitter. We turn the transmitter on like that. We're gonna take the receiver, this is a two-part system, and plug the receiver into the camera. I'll take out my iPhone here and film and to show you guys how I'm attaching the microphone. You have what you call a hot shoe mount on top. Here we go. Testing, testing, testing mic. And now testing mic test. Should be working now. Thread this up through the shirt. There we go. So first step of the creative process, audio, a very important, crucial part of the process, is done. We have the lavalier. Let me explain to you how we can go about using the 5x1 diffuser. And I purposefully chose a really starkly contrasted place. The sun is shining now. It's about 1 p.m., so the sun's high up in the sky. What we're gonna do here is take this side and place it in between our subject and the sun. Now, I'm the subject today, so I can't be here to hold this thing up, so I brought a stand. And this first little attachment is called a gobo arm. Now, we use this in lighting, gaff work for setting up equipment and holding stuff. Very crucial part of the filmmaking and videography process. So let's swivel this around. There we go. Hold it up like this. Secure position. We're gonna take one of these, very expensive and important part of the production, and we're gonna clip it up like this. There we go. We have our diffusion, so we're gonna place this in between our subject and the sunlight. It's a little bit windy here in the Columbia River Gorge. So I only brought one clip with me today. That is a note to self, I should get more clips. You guys may be secure with 3 to 5 clips. Now, if you look, there's a shadow being cast on the pavement. You're gonna want your subject's face in that little shadow region. So let's move the tripod back. You're gonna wanna raise it up real high. The wind is trickier than I thought around here. Perfect. Okay, there we go. We finally set it up, some nice diffusion. It makes it a lot nicer and more palatable to the viewer. If I were to take away the diffusion, that's what the lighting would look like. Okay, so I don't feel like fiddling with the wind, so I'm just going to run the rest of this part of the video with no diffusion. It did look really nice, but that wind is killing me. I spent probably 15 minutes trying to set this whole thing up. Classic duct tape, clip. So let's review the rest of the studio equipment that I have in my bag. Everything except for this stand I'm gonna be carrying with me in my backpack. So I'll have all of this gear mobile, ready to go, ready to shoot, film whatever is required, because I'm looking to get video clients. Curious what's in my film bag? Let's go into it. We start off with some nice studio headphones. Next up, that shotgun microphone I was talking about. You're gonna need to plug the shotgun mic into something, so we have an XLR cable to feed the connection. And where do we feed that connection to? The Zoom H4n Pro is going to be the audio recorder of choice for us. this month. The Canon R5 that we're filming on now have the DJI, the controller, the DJI Mini 4 Pro consumer drone, 4 terabytes of storage SSD for all of our video editing, an SD card carrying case with quite a few SD cards and micro SDs, and 3 Samsung T7s. So it sets up like this, a nice teleprompter for the client to read their script off of. This is a wonderful mouse, the MX Master. It helps me video edit very quickly. One thing I love is this thumb button to go back on tabs. There we are, that is all of the equipment. That's essentially what I'm walking around with, the camera equipment in my bag. Last but certainly not least, we have the MacBook Pro 2021 M1 chip for video editing. So let's get to work. So where do we go from here? Now that the website has been built, the Instagram channel has been built, I have the vision for the brand and the type of clients that I'd like to serve. I'd like to serve business owners or small businesses, local car dealerships, real estate agents, local attorneys. If someone is interested in posting recurring social media content, then I want to be the guy that they go to get that content produced. Whether I'm just video editing for the client or I'm fully producing with my mic, my camera, my lighting equipment. Maybe I might even help the client script the videos so that they come across as polished to their audience. But essentially, I want to be the video guy for people that want to connect with their audience on social media. All right, what's up everyone? I just went over all of my different filmmaking equipment I'm going to be using over the next month. Now that we have the website, the Instagram channel, I feel confident to begin outreach. So what I'm going to do is pack the equipment, all of it, back up in my bag. We're going to walk downtown and then begin cold calling. I mentioned yesterday I have a list of 10 construction companies in Portland, construction/architecture boutique firms that I've found across the city that I'm going to cold call and ask them, just like I did yesterday. Hey, my name's Bruce. Are you interested in social media? Are you currently building social media content out? Do you think that building more social media content out could help your business in the future? Just those easy, simple questions and just having conversations. I mean, even in real estate, I was never a really hard, pushy, sales guy. Back in the day, I thought I want to be the type of real estate agent that clients can come to and they trust. They know that I have the best intentions in heart and in mind, and I just want to be there as a resource. When I was touring with certain clients, mentioning the negatives to the listing that we were touring first, to let them know, hey, I know that you told me you don't want to live near a busy road. Whatever the issue is, you want to first and foremost make sure that client knows or that customer knows that you do have their best intentions in mind and you are looking out for what they need. You're not just trying to sell them product or service. So that's where I'm coming from. I genuinely do want to create a kick-ass video business that works for a ton of people. I want to have my schedule booked. I want to be working 60 hours a week at this business. I want to find the first paying client, and then from there, I feel like I can create the systems for myself to be able to have 2 clients, 3 clients, 5 clients, 10 clients. But of course, I don't want to jump the gun. I want to focus on getting that first a client. And what's the first step? It's getting an appointment. So first, a potential customer needs to know that you exist. Secondly, that potential customer needs to schedule to meet with you and talk over their business goals. And then thirdly, that potential customer will decide, yeah, this works for me, or no, I don't think that's the service for me. What kind of impact would I really want to have? Of course, I want to make videos for people. I like making videos, the art and the craft of putting something together, filming, editing. I think that whole thing is super sweet, and I love that process. So the first goal that I have is just to fill my calendar up with clients that are hungry for the type of work that I can create. Now, the business engine is the important driver of that, because I may be Bruce Bradbury, the filmmaker that's really eager to go out and work for a ton of people in Portland, But if I'm not good at networking myself, connecting myself with those people that would be potential customers, then I'm just gonna be sat here doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs, not having any work to do. I want to be proactive here. So the first way I'm gonna be proactive is I'm not going to be scared. I'm gonna get on the phone and call up these companies. I've done some researching on Google Maps, looking through the websites, seeing who has Instagram content already, who has YouTube channels already, and deciding and going through that process. I think maybe in day 5 or 6, maybe we'll sit down on the computer and actually go and do some primary research, and I can show you what it is I do every step of the way to go and find and identify those clients or those potential clients. Anyway, I'm gonna get packed up and I'll see you down at the Hood River waterfront. All right, you crazies. I'll chat with you while I walk down the street. There's free parking up this way. That's why I park so far away from the filming location. All right, and that red building in the distance is the movie theater. Oh, I know just the spot. I used to work here in high school at Full Sail Brewery. I was just a dishwasher in 12th grade. A little low, don't you think? Man, that diffusion would come in handy now. And that's how you set up a scene. We're gonna wait a little bit. The sun is about to come and cascade behind these trees, and then move over here to this side of the park bench. Perfect. I just installed the HubSpot app, the CRM. Remember, a CRM is a customer resource management tool. If you're new to this kind of stuff, new to the sales world, you utilize a CRM to help manage all your connections. So say within a city, you have 100 vendors that you work with. If you're a real estate agent, you might want to establish connections with a plumbing company, an electrician, a few mortgage lenders. So your network, your sphere can become quite large. Not only are you managing customer relationships, but you're also managing vendor relationships. So a CRM of a successful business owner could vary and range from a few hundred people to a few thousand people in the CRM. If I'm on a call with, say, Susie, who's a mortgage lender, and Susie says, oh, I'm not quite sure about video marketing, but I've honestly been really psyched about it for a while. Maybe in 3 months, I might be ready to pull the trigger. Well, we'd put Susie in the CRM and say, look, she's looking for video marketing in 3 months. Maybe reach back out to Susie just so that she remembers. I think that once I do a really good job for the first client, for the first 3 clients, for the first 5 clients, maybe I can even find clients that don't just want 1 month's work, but they maybe want to begin a recurring process of creating videos each month. That would be solid. I could see myself starting from 0 in just 6 months of hard work, doing the very best I can, meeting as many people as I can every day. I can see myself very quickly in 6 months having a really great track record for this and actually begin developing a sort of reputation. And that's where the word of mouth comes in. With that said, let's make our first call to
A few moments later.
All right, appreciate it. Bye. Okay, first call ended up in thank you for calling, but I'm pretty old school and I don't do any social media marketing. Oh, perfect. That's great. Okay. Well, yeah, thank you for taking my call and hope you have a good day. Bye. So some people just aren't interested. This prospect told me they already have a videographer that they work with. That's fine, not trying to sell everybody. There's this interesting exchange between 2 sales guys on YouTube that I'm fascinated with. You have Grant Cardone and Jordan Belfort. Grant was saying in this moment during a podcast that every person is a likely buyer. Jordan keeps pressing him. Anyway, I'll just put the clip up there.
2 types of people. You have buyers and non-buyers, right? Like, what do you mean?
No, I don't believe that. I think they're all buyers.
You think everyone's a buyer?
Every person, every human being you meet is going to buy something.
Whether
They might not buy my fish, but then they're going to buy insurance or they're going to buy groceries. Or they're all buyers.
But what you're selling fish though?
In that case, I was selling fish, but that does not make them a non-buyer.
Of fish though. If they
That
don't-
day, that moment.
Right.
that
No, if they
second.
don't. If they don't. My point is, technically.
Every buyer's a buyer.
Okay, so
'Cause
you
all
don't.
I'm looking for is money anyway. Every seller's looking for something. They're
Okay.
looking for money. They don't want to keep what they have. They're looking for money.
Super funny stuff, and yeah, it's just a little entertainment as well. I think it's a little bit easier as a real estate agent in a past life. Well, I'm still a real estate agent. I have a listing on the market right now in Portland, but I'm not actively trying to build my real estate business. We did as much work as possible to get this listing put on the market, and I'm still working very hard on this listing. But in terms of new business, I'm focused on the videography route rather than the real estate agent route. But I'll be honest, the real estate agent gave me experience, be very comfortable cold calling or meeting new people, holding events. And anyway, these cold calls are a bit easier because I'm calling other business owners. I'm not calling a homeowner who's just a consumer out there in the market. Next, we have Oregon. Let's, we're gonna call. Hi, great. Thank you for letting me send you some of my work. Bye. There we go. I cold called a prospect and they invited me to give them a call back a bit later next week to review my portfolio. So she invited me to send her an email with my work and said, yeah, hopefully I look forward to maybe doing business with you in the future. This is with, leave a voicemail. Hey, this is Bruce. My number is 50. Voicemails are always hit or miss with me. I don't know. Sometimes I'm leaving a voicemail and 15 seconds in, I go, oh heck, I messed up. Sometimes I decide, what, I'm just not gonna leave a voicemail because it's not gonna come off well. Practice makes perfect, of course. Calling okay, this is no answer, another voicemail. We'll get a lot of voicemails. And then I'd say just expect like 1/10 of the people you talk to be really interested in whatever you have to say. Okay. Calling voicemail. I'll try to leave another voicemail actually. Okay, got it. Perfect. Yeah, so, okay, next Wednesday. Let me see. Wednesday looks good. Okay, all right, one more. It's 4:50 p.m., so we have about 10 minutes left. Cold calling. I have found 2 somewhat interested people so far. I think it's a numbers game. Essentially, you don't know who's out there. I guess I've been in sales situations where the client is like, oh, it's a breath of fresh air to see you. I can't believe, hey, Bruce, thanks for showing up, being the guy to do the job here. I've been looking for someone to do the job, and I'm glad that you have come to me and offered your services. I've been in situations where, I don't know, because I guess I always feel like weird. I don't want to impose. I don't want to try and be a sales guy. I don't want to try and in one instance, it feels really weird to cold call people because I feel like, oh, I'm inconveniencing the people I'm calling. But on the other hand, 1 out of 10 people I call are like, Bruce, I've been waiting for someone to call me. I've been looking for a videographer. So I don't know. It's a balance. It's like, how do I find and connect with the people that want to work with me, that I want to work with, unless I take part in this monotone activity of cold calling and just following it as if it's a numbers game. Like, look, I mean, if you call 100 people, you can start to collect data on, oh, I called 100 people, 70 of them didn't even answer, 30 of them picked up. Out of the 30 that picked up, 10 of them seemed somewhat interested. I was able to schedule an appointment with 4 people, and out of those 4 appointments, 2 of them ended up being very positive and ended up resulting in some business. So I guess that's kind of how the pipeline works, and that's how the chain of work that we have to do on our end in order to get into a position where we can start making video content for a client. We're gonna be calling one last call before 6 p.m. Voicemail. Okay, that means that we still have time before the end of the day. Oh, he texted back. Sorry, can't talk now. It's okay. This is Bruce. I'm a videographer and I don't want to sound too sales. I don't know. I think I'd be well presented as a passive resource for video business, but also I'm available now if you have any kind of media you want to shoot. I think that's kind of, I don't know, I guess that's my angle. And I think I'm doing better than most creatives. I'd say on the spectrum of 0 to 100 of creativity, I'm probably 70. I never really fit in completely with like the complete art kids at college. I see pictures, I see images, and I understand how to put together a video, how to edit. That is my art form. I'm not musically talented, I can't draw, but I also have financial acumen about me. one that's completely self-taught. I am just interested in finance. When I was 13, I saw The Wolf of Wall Street. And even though some morally reprehensible things occur in that film, the gist of wanting to deal with numbers, deal with finance, trade stocks, that kind of stuff really intrigued me. So I remember I mean, it kind of is a joke, but I did watch that movie when I was 13 and think, wow, how come I never thought of the stock market before? It's not like I want to be a criminal. Of course not. No. I mean, it's an actual field. I guess it's just been interesting for me because nobody in my family's in finance or trades or does any of this. So it does feel a bit foreign to me, to be honest. But I know that I'm on the path. And the reason I know I'm on the right path is sometimes I'll bump into someone that works in finance professionally or someone that also trades stocks. And it's like, dude, it clicks. We can talk information. I can get down into the details. Yeah, I live life in terms of gaining experience. Like, I guess I'm 25 now. Of course, I don't want to live my 20s recklessly. I want to begin building wealth. In my early 20s, when I was first starting out in real estate, I guess I had a small winning streak like at the beginning. So I had, and I'll just be honest here, I had about $40,000 saved up. I think like 38,000. So this was money that I had in between cash, savings, stocks, long-term investments, but also short-term trading account. I've been learning how to day trade for about 3 years. Honestly, we're actually coming up on 3 years. My first real day trade took place in October of 2022. So in October 2025, I'm gonna be celebrating my 3 years. If anyone else watching is on that path or knows day traders, I think from all of the real legit day traders I met in real life, it honestly can say it takes 6, 7, sometimes 10 years to really feel like you're an expert in your field, and to really begin turning the tide, to begin building the wealth. So that's been something I've been very interested in. And the stock market is morally ambiguous. And that's something I think of all the time. I have a lot of friends. Friends sometimes say, oh, Bruce, you're into stocks. You got to buy some Palantir. You got to buy some prison stocks. And I say, look, you don't have to become morally bankrupt in order to play in this game. To play in some games, probably. But there are 1,000 different ways to day trade. So just because I'm learning how to trade, it doesn't mean I have to involve myself in Palantir or prison stocks. It doesn't mean I have to trade Philip Morris to get ahead in this life. I can just put my wits to the test, and eventually I think it will work out. I think that's honestly maybe why real estate didn't work out the best for me. I'm not completely captivated by sales. And it's a cop-out saying that, because honestly, I just feel like I don't know if I didn't do enough. Your capacity for doing work always increases. Hopefully, I know for me, over the past 5 years, my capacity for work has increased. So I look back and I think, man, I could have done more, dude. And I could have tried harder. I think at the time I was doing all that I could, and I was pushing myself to the brink. You do that every week. Push yourself to the limits. See how far you can go. It's interesting. So it just at 5 p.m. I'm gonna pack up for the day. This was pretty successful.